Snowmageddon is upon us. Good Saturday morning, everyone. Welcome to the Weekend Huddle here on 102.5 The Game. Connor Newt, Nick Frazier, Christian Skelton here with you, broadcasting from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville Studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. And as we speak, just want to remind everyone, stay safe out there. The snow has begun. It is accumulating, and it is accumulating fast. Ice, I think, is supposed to hit in tonight, but at the same time, make sure you're driving safe. Make sure you're staying warm. All that good stuff. We'll keep you updated on the weather as we go along. We are with you until 11:30 today due to some changes in schedule. Vanderbilt will now be on 94.9 today. The Predators have moved up their puck drop by a couple hours. They will now drop the puck at 12:30. Pre-game starting at 11:30 with Max Hers. So we are here to take you up until then. But let's get started. Nick Frazier, how we doing?
Good morning, gentlemen. I'm doing just dandy. When I woke up this morning, I had to tell you for the show, I thought about you guys, make sure you're okay. It seemed like you guys survived, so it's all good.
We did survive. We lived here. It was relatively fun.
Yeah.
Hurt my back sleeping on a floor, but we did live here. We may continue to live here today if this keeps up, but we'll see.
I'm telling you, after the Preds game, if you need it, we can go four-wheeling afterwards. We'll just continue to do that till about midnight. So we're good to go.
Yeah. I mean, we've considered playing hockey out here today.
You know, when I was,
which would be fantastic.
I think 9 years old, a good friend of mine now lives in Arizona, but we went to his neighborhood, and when it got really icy, we had like probably 12 of us. So it's 6v6, and we had this thing called like the Winter Classic, air quotes, because it was outside.
Winter Classic.
We all wore Crocs and we're sliding everywhere. It was super fun, man. Back in the day.
We've got hockey sticks here, and I've found they're thermal gloves, but they look just like hockey gloves. So
yes. How are you, Connor?
I'm good. I'm just kind of being aware of the weather. Driving, making sure everyone else around us is driving well is most important to me. And look, if I got to stay here, I got to stay here. That's just how it is. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there. It is just coming down right now.
Love it.
Which, you and I were talking about, well, maybe the meteorologist screwed the pooch on this one. And now it's coming.
Yeah, it's definitely coming down. So if you're out there, be aware of the road conditions, drive slow. If you got a 4-wheel drive car, all-wheel drive, put it in low gear and just continue to truck along. And again, just drive slow and with caution. So we're going to get you through the rest of the day, though. Start your day that is.
Yes.
There's a lot of sports, like you just mentioned, a lot of different times of the sports schedule. But join us for about 2.5 hours for fun.
Yes. And we've got a lot to talk about. Obviously, the Titans hired a coach this week. I want to talk beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
I think we kind of know where the OC hire is going to go, but if that doesn't pan out, who's the next option? Frazier Files at 9:45. We'll talk a little bit of Preds hockey today as they pick up a massive win the other day from come behind, down 3-0 to the Ottawa Senators. They win 5-3 in regulation. They're in action today against the Utah Mammoth in an Ice Age matchup, and an appropriate name for that today, as it looks like the Ice Age right now. But since it's a 2.5-hour show today, I threw a little Newt's notes in there at 10:45 because there is something going on that I just have to speak about. We'll talk about the NFL playoffs. We'll do a little Where Are They Now to wrap up the show. I forgot to put out a weekend poll, so maybe I'll just ask a question of the day because I'm too lazy to type one up. But I guess the question of the day, which is not brought to you by Aries Tactical, that's Jason Big Joe. What are your plans for the snow day? What are you going to do this weekend? Is that sledding? Is that just camping inside and coaching up your college football 26 team like I will probably do? What are you doing for the snow day? 615-737-1025 is the phone number. Phone and text lines driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. You said four-wheeling.
Yes. It's not really a ATV four-wheeler, but it's a go-kart that has the fat boy tires, so big ones in the back, small ones in the front. And every time it snows, if it's 7 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock at night, whatever, because the snow is out there, you get a full moon or a half moon, whatever, that light shines off of it. So you're able to just four-wheel till I guess, sunrise in a roundabout way. So my dad and I have a good time with that. My brother will probably swing by a little bit later. So, It's always fun in the snow.
It's weird right now. Maybe it's just our area, but it's like accumulating on the roads, but not on the grass. So I'm not a meteorologist. I don't really understand what's going on, but.
Well, normally, just my assumption, when you have asphalt, I think it'll melt a little bit and then it starts to cool off because asphalt's no longer warm.
Because cold.
Yeah, because the cold.
Am I thinking of this wrong, or doesn't it usually kind of do the opposite, where I feel like most of the time it kind of gets on the grass easier than the asphalt?
That's what I thought.
But I don't know. Maybe I'm just remembering it wrong.
I don't know.
Maybe it's different every time, too. Who knows?
In conclusion, we're all stupid.
We don't know.
None of us know what the heck we're talking about. I mean, sledding is always a key staple in the snow day. You got to let it accumulate a little bit, which maybe that'll be an activity for tomorrow if I can get out of here. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy we have some snow. You got to take these. We don't get these very often. So, and obviously the city shuts down whenever we do get them. Do you think our neighbors from like New York are just looking at us and being like, these idiots?
I'm thinking they're on that page there, Connor. They're probably thinking, what on God's green earth are these people thinking? Can we drive a little bit? You know,
2 to 4 inches of snow, everyone.
I'm always that guy that gripes about the people coming from Florida, California, Texas, New York. Guys, it's just rain. Can we just drive normally? And now we got the snow, and it just seems like
no one knows what they're doing.
Yeah, and now it's the New Yorkers and the people from up north saying, "You guys don't know how to drive in this." Hilarious,
silly gooses. Yeah, I mean, I kind of find peace in a snow day and just kind of staying inside.
Yeah,
it being warm. You know, you throw on a movie or something and just get your warm jammies on. Just sit by the fire. It's kind of nice to me.
Yeah, it really is. And then you can just keep adding up that fire and make it a giant one.
Yeah.
I like fire. I like fire.
Fire.
Look, you can just chop the wood and put it in. It's fantastic.
Fire.
No. I'll just go ahead and put on my blanket since you're talking about it over here. This is making me feel like I just want to go home and just sit and relax and just do nothing all day.
What do you do on a snow day, Christian? What's common for you?
You know, he'd said earlier, if we do end up having to stay here, hockey is definitely in the plans for later today. That's always a good. See, it's weird though, because like obviously,
but we got to find goals. We don't have those.
Yeah, we don't have goals, and like in Tennessee, it's kind of hard because like there's not really a lot of places where there's just frozen ice anywhere. Obviously,
yeah.
But a lot of times the road, at least in my experience, the road ends up getting icy enough to where it's like, this is good enough. Or I'm not trying to do anything too crazy here. I'm not trying to actually play hockey. I'm just trying to mess around. So
I mean, the more I look outside, like I keep looking like every 2 seconds because my OCD is kicking in. The flakes are getting bigger and it's coming down harder. So
we're in a giant snow globe.
Yes, we are.
Like there's salt.
It does look awesome.
By.
I will say it looks awesome.
It does look cool. It's just not sticking to the ground yet.
That's good. Look, they got salt. I just saw 2 of them fly by. So we're looks like they're going about 35.
It really makes me want to go play a playoff game at Lambeau. That's all it makes me want to do.
Yes. That's what we should do. We should throw a football out there.
I think I got a football in my car. So if y'all are down.
No one will catch anything.
No, not at all.
But it will be certainly a fun time. I mean, these are some big flakes, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm curious tomorrow. We'll probably get in this a little later, maybe, about the AFC Championship game. 18 degrees with a possible chance of snow in Denver. That'll be something to watch out for. If it's a giant snow game for an AFC Championship,
great. I think that actually favors the away team.
You think so?
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's a team that's used to the 18-degree weather in good old Foxborough, Massachusetts.
That's fair.
I think that may favor the away team. We'll get into this later, but I'm actually kind of pulling for the Patriots. Yeah. I do not want to see Jared Stidham in a Super Bowl. I'm good.
I'm sure the numbers would be at an all-time low for Super Bowl, I guess, views if Jared Stidham is the starting quarterback for the Broncos.
You know what the NFL wants. They want Patriots Seahawks.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking Patriots Rams.
The Rams don't have this monstrous fan base.
That's true.
Like, look at the game that they had earlier this year against the 49ers in SoFi. It was like 70% red and gold.
Mm-hmm.
And the Rams are a playoff contender. They're in the NFC Championship. So that's something I don't really understand. But
that stadium they play in SoFi is just it's an odd stadium for away fans to just kind of, have fun. And again, for Rams fans, it's hard to fill that stadium for some reason. I don't know why. But I just think having a Super Bowl matchup with looks like the MVP front runner and the MVP I guess, secondary choice, which would
Yeah.
be Drake May. That's a phenomenal matchup everybody wants to see. If Drake May can kind of subside his fumbles and turnovers and stuff, we're in for a good matchup, if that is the case.
615-737-1025 is the phone number. We are live and local here on this Saturday morning, getting you through your snow day. What a great way to start off your snow day. Listen to some honest sports talk. Well, coming up next, we'll talk a little bit of Titans head coaching search, which is over now. They have hired Robert Saleh. Now the search within the search begins. You got to hire an offensive coordinator. If the Titans can't land Brian Daboll, who is kind of holding out for that Bills head coaching job, there was an update this morning on the Bills head coaching job we'll get into on the other side. But if the Titans can't land Brian Daboll, who's the next best option? We'll get to that coming up next right here on the program. Weekend Huddle here on 102.5 The Game. Connor Newton, Nick Frazier, Christian Skeleton here with you on this snow day right here on 102.5 The Game. Oh, you just pick up on my random musical cues so well. I was singing this song before the show, and then he just picks up on it.
And as he left the room, I said to Frazier, I have to play that now.
Yes, you do. And I'm very proud of you. Welcome back in. Weekend Huddle here on 102.5 The Game, taking you up to 11:30 here today as we get you set for Preds and Mammoth, formerly known as the Arizona Coyotes, which I still find myself calling them that sometimes, but that's okay. But there's another team in Nashville that's making some noise outside of the Preds, and we'll get into the Preds later. But the Tennessee Titans obviously have hired their head coach in Robert Saleh. Now the search within the search begins, and you kind of need to bring in a head coach for your offensive staff. The reports are that if he can't land the Bills head coaching job, Brian Daboll, the former New York Giants coach, former Bills OC, is expected to land here and be the offensive coordinator for Robert Saleh's Titans. That said, he was given an interview yesterday, and there was a development this morning on the Bills head coach search. Former Dolphins coach Mike McDaniel has withdrawn his name from consideration of the Bills and Browns head coaching searches. So that means he will be the offensive coordinator in Los Angeles for Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers. So could we see this happen with Brian Daboll, where he withdraws himself and just becomes the OC here, which I think a lot of people are in favor of? And or if he doesn't, let's say he does become the Bills head coach, who's the next best option? Who would you trust to lead this offense and help develop Cam Ward?
It's tough because, a lot of people would like to see a Brian Daboll here, but if that's not the case, I kind of am still on the Cliff Kingsbury train a little bit. Maybe he's not a great head coach, but is a good offensive coordinator. I mean, look what he did with Jaden Daniels. Again, that's a guy that has capitalized on his success in the NFL, but that's because of Cliff Kingsbury. I think Cliff Kingsbury does a really good job with young quarterbacks. He's developed a handful of them that have gone on to bigger and better things, but especially a guy like Jaden Daniels and the just first year success they had in Washington. Why not do that in Nashville? I think he follows under the tree of a Bobby Slowick that people have talked about as well as a possible option. But the name that kind of lingers around still and was a head coach option in some aspects for the Titans was Arthur Smith.
Yeah, Arthur Smith sticks out to me because I talked about this with Jake yesterday. I think there are pieces of this offense that would just thrive under him. There's one guy in particular that I think would thrive in this offense, and that's Gunnar Helm. He just screams Arthur Smith tight end to me. He can block, he can run routes, he can do whatever you need him to do. He's versatile in that aspect. So I think he would fit this well. So Arthur Smith would probably be my answer. I don't like Cliff Kingsbury, and I think I might be the only person in Nashville who doesn't. I just feel that, I think he overachieved with Jaden Daniels, and you saw the repercussions this year. Obviously, Jaden Daniels went down with injury, but he couldn't do much with Marcus Mariota. And then, look, I know Jaden Daniels is miles ahead of Marcus Mariota, and it's unfortunate that we have to say that due to what happened with this franchise and him. But
yeah.
I just, Cliff Kingsbury to me is a lower echelon offensive coordinator and an even worse head coach. So I just don't think he would make much of a noise here. I wouldn't trust him to be a head coach of this offense. I like someone who's capable and proven of developing a quarterback. Jaden Daniels came into this league and kind of shocked the world. But I don't know if it's because of any development that Cliff Kingsbury gave him. I think it's just kind of, Jaden Daniels was playing a different game than everyone else, and people weren't expecting it. Kind of like CJ Stroud. And you've seen what happens since CJ Stroud has gotten quote unquote development. He's regressed, right?
Yeah.
So I'm worried that Cliff Kingsbury would come in here and be a detriment to Cam Ward because Jaden Daniels is a different style quarterback than Cam Ward is. Jaden Daniels can run the ball. He has a stronger arm than Cam Ward. Cam Ward's more of your field general pocket passer. He can navigate the pocket. You don't really want him running outside too much. He's effective with his legs, but not nearly as effective as other quarterbacks in this league. So I don't know. I don't feel good about Cliff Kingsbury coming here.
That's fair. I'll counter it with I'll list a few quarterbacks. Obviously, everybody knows Patrick Mahomes, Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield. All those guys were with Cliff Kingsbury in college. You go to the NFL, he's obviously was with Jaden Daniels. Let me just go back to the college I forgot about. He was with USC as an offensive analyst with Caleb Williams in Chicago.
Yeah.
So again, could that be more of the talents of Caleb Williams, or could that be a little bit of both where it comes to Kingsbury helping him develop and seeing the game better? That's something that we're as people on the outside just looking at Cam Ward saying, look, this guy needs to work on his footwork, ball security, and just pocket awareness. That's something I think Cliff Kingsbury brings to the table. And also, too, with his air raid offense, that might help Cam a little bit, just get the ball out of his hands quicker. So, I mean, that's something to look at. But again, can't be analytical when it comes to an offensive coordinator and a quarterback. It's just more about the marriage of the offense.
Right. And look, this is all on paper. We have no idea what the offense will look like. We have no idea how this hire is going to work out. But I just, knowing what I know about Cliff Kingsbury, I wouldn't feel super great about it. 615-737-1025. We'll take your thoughts on that. But I'm excited about the idea of Brian Daboll being the offensive coordinator, because we've seen what he's capable of doing with, quarterback talent. He's a sole reason, maybe not sole reason, but he's a big reason for the development of Josh Allen. He's a big reason Josh Allen became the MVP caliber of player that he is. I'm excited about the prospect of what Brian Daboll is capable of doing with Cam Ward, because that's really the mission here, right? The mission here is to develop the quarterback you spent the number 1 overall pick on. Anything else would be nothing short of a failure. So I think in terms of developing a quarterback, Brian Daboll would be the best option. Arthur Smith, I don't know what it looks like him developing a quarterback, because he's never had that opportunity. His best opportunity was Desmond Ridder. And the more we look back on it, I don't think it was Arthur Smith's fault. I think it was more Desmond Ridder is just a bad quarterback. So I would be very excited about the prospect of Brian Daboll developing your young quarterback. But in terms of play calling, Arthur Smith wouldn't be a bad option either.
Yeah, and there's one more name, and Tom Pelissero's mentioned this name, Adam Stinovich.
Yes.
Is the OC for Green Bay. I think it's interesting because if the Titans were to go in that route, that's an offensive coordinator that gets that Green Bay team. Again, that's an offense that is yearning for a top wide receiver talent. It seemed like Christian Watson was the guy late in this playoff run. But you go and look at that offense as a whole, it revolved around a Tucker Kraft, which is a tight end, kind of going to the Arthur Smith route, where that might incorporate guys like Chigakonkwo and Gunnar Helm that might flourish in that offense. And then again, they had a really good run game with Josh Jacobs. And if you can just have a middle of the pack offense ranked in the NFL and have a above and beyond top 5 defense is what people are thinking Robert Saleh is going to bring to the table, this team could be competing for something more than just 7 wins next year.
I don't know how I feel about a non-play calling OC coming in and taking over play calling duties, just because we've been there, done that. We did that just recently with a non-play calling OC taking over play calling duties as a head coach. I don't think it's much of a difference from a non-play calling OC taking over a play calling OC duty, just because you have a defensive coach who's going to be calling defensive plays. I don't know how I feel about that. I think he might be a good option, but I would feel better about someone who has experience like Arthur Smith or Brian Daboll.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, Adam Stinovich, former left tackle himself, I feel like that's something that it's him and Matt LaFleur, they go back and forth with.
Right.
I'm sure that he's more the run style offensive coordinator rather than LaFleur calling up the play calling for passing. So that might just be where the marriage is for them in Green Bay. It's just, again, could be question marks for the Titans.
615-737-1025. Let's go to our phone lines driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. TJ in Murfreesboro has been on our line waiting patiently. TJ, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing, man? Hope y'all having a good day out in this snow.
Thank you.
Well, it's a dark horse, but if Daboll isn't the guy, I think Nathan Shieldhouse should get a strong look. Passing game coordinator of the Rams at University of Illinois. He would literally be coaching a bigger, stronger, faster version of himself in college. This is a dark horse, but I think he would get Cam Ward and that offense to the next level. That's all I wanted to say, man. Y'all have a good day, and I'll sit back and listen.
All right. I appreciate the call, TJ. Yeah, I think that's a decent option. It's a guy you haven't heard a lot about. I just feel, they're going to go for the established name.
Yeah.
They're going for experience. There's no question about that. And I think that's the right route to go. So I would feel good about Daboll. I'd feel good about Arthur Smith. You could convince me on Cliff Kingsbury, but right now I'm not completely sold. 615-737-1025 is the phone number. Today, Vanderbilt men's basketball takes on Mississippi State with an 11 a.m. tip-off, and the pregame show starts at 10:30 on 94.9 The Fan. Of course, that is a programming note. The Predators have been moved up. They will drop the puck at 12:30, so pregame beginning at 11:30. We'll take you up until then. We'll continue the conversation up next on the Titans offensive coordinator search. Does the hire of Saleh shore up a first-round draft pick on defense? I want to talk about that as well. Weekend Huddle here on 102.5. Connor Newt, Nick Frazier, Christian Skelton here with you all morning till 11:30 right here on 102.5 The Game. Weekend Huddle back with you on 102.5 The Game. Connor Newt, Nick Frazier, Christian Skelton, and Phil Collins bringing us back with, what is it, Studio?
Think so.
Yeah.
You are correct.
Well, I know the song. I just had to make sure I was saying it right.
Phil
Oh,
Collins
yes.
just puts you in a good mood.
He's a good
He
guy.
really does.
I don't think his health is the best right now.
This song has also just been like an inside joke for me and Connor for the last few days. So
really?
this was the highlights song the other night for Preds too.
Hey,
So
the car just swerved off the road. That's great.
seriously?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Stay safe out there,
Wonderful.
please,
Yes.
because we're monitoring. People watching the stream are making fun of me because I keep looking out the window, but I'm just allured by the winter wonderland or lack thereof.
It's all good. It's all good. Drive safe as always.
I'm like a
out there.
dad. You know how dads will just go out in the middle of like a storm coming in and just stare at it?
Yep.
That's what I'm doing.
I think that's just men in general, to be completely
I was
honest.
gonna say, I do that. a
Yeah,
lot.
I do that
It's
too. Yeah.
Whoa, those clouds are dark over there.
I'll just walk out on the front steps of the house and be like, wow, look at those dark clouds.
Wow.
That's got to be like a top 5 male activity, just watching a storm, winter or just thunderstorm. Or
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to watch a tornado. That might be
I
a little.
mean,
Yeah.
now
yeah.
you're on the topic of top 5 male activities, so I'm thinking about it.
Hmm.
That's one. Naming random players on random teams is another one, which we'll do. I don't know, probably at 11:30. Let's see here. I mean, watching sports is a male activity. And for females get in on this.
Cutting grass.
Yeah, mowing the yard.
Mowing the yard's
There's-
very therapeutic.
Nothing more than the satisfaction of using your trimmer and just lining up the grass, and it's such in a straight line.
Oh yeah,
Just the huge satisfaction.
there's something
of that.
about it.
And
yeah.
chopping wood.
I've never
chopping
chopped
wood.
wood.
Oh,
So
I
need to
never
do
have either.
that.
I need to do that too. That sounds like it'd be fun.
just get a hatchet and a hammer and just start, hammering it down, or just get a giant axe and just go over your head. Just boom, boom, boom.
There's our weekly mic punch, everyone.
Yep.
Take your shot.
Had to get it in. Had to get it.
Take your shot. Speaking of taking shots, the Titans are taking a shot on hiring an offensive coordinator. We think it's
Yes.
going to be Brian Daboll. Other people have other options. Obviously, you just heard TJ call in with his option. Arthur Smith has been brought up as an option.
Yep.
Cliff Kingsbury has been brought up as an option. I told you I wouldn't feel great about Cliff Kingsbury, but at this point, I want experience. I want someone who's capable of developing the quarterback because that's what we need. And TJ's option, as we were talking about during the break, has some high praise from one Sean McVay, who I believe is the best coach in the NFL, which is good. I still would prefer experience. And I think that's why mine and many other people's first option is probably Brian Daboll.
Yeah, and looking at Nathan Schilhaas is just that, yes, the Ravens interviewed him for the head coaching job. I get that. But the praise that we talk about from McVay is McVay says this guy grabs the locker room immediately with his presence. And I think that's something that shows similarities to what Robert Saleh is, going to do, that we all hope is grab the attention of the locker room and build that culture. And again, Schilhaas is formerly a quarterback in this league. I mean, he's only 35, but when he was drafted, I think in 2014, give or take, he was a quarterback, and he's the passing game coordinator for the Rams. So again, all signs kind of lead to the quarterback position for Cam Ward and the development of this. And I'm not saying that he might be a top front runner, but yet that's somebody that holds all those intangibles is what the Titans are kind of looking for. Nonetheless, he's not on their list, but hopefully that suffices TJ's question when it comes to Nathan Schilhaas. I think he is a solid option for not just head coach, but an option on a staff somewhere. And currently it's with the Rams, and they're in the NFC Championship game.
Obviously, yeah, and we'll talk about that later on. But I want to bring this to your attention. I think the hiring of a defensive coordinator kind of stirs something up. I think that the Titans are going to have one of 3 options at pick number 4. I don't think they're going to trade down. I think they're all going to be defensive players. I think it's going to be Reuben Bain, David Bailey Jr. from Texas Tech, or Arvell Reese. And let me tell you, let me do some convincing arguing here on why I think it should be Reuben Bain. Traditionally, since the Fisher days, the Titans have run a 3-4 base on defense. Robert Saleh is coming in, changing that up, and running a 4-3. So what does that mean? That means you have more guys on the front defensive line going after the quarterback. What does that mean? That means Reuben Bain is going to have more opportunities on one-on-one matchups to get to the quarterback. And that's a situation that, as we learned through the college football playoff, that he thrives in. So can you imagine Reuben Bain being taken at number 4 in a 4-3, mind you? We got Reuben Bain on the outside, Jeffrey Simmons at defensive tackle, Tavondre Sweat at that nose tackle position. And then it gets a little dicey. I mean, maybe Sebastian Joseph Day finds his way back. You would probably look to allocate some of those resources in free agency. But regardless, you're going to have a pretty good defensive line if that's the opportunity that you take. So my argument is I like the way Ruben Bain plays. Look, I was originally an Arbel Reese fan. Then I watched Ruben Bain this college football playoff. Now I've been converted. I like the idea of Ruben Bain being the 4th overall pick and coming to the Tennessee Titans because I think he would fit the Robert Saleh system extremely well.
Yeah, I mean, screw the comments about his hands or arms being 30 inches, whatever it is.
I'm done with that.
I am done with that, but you make a great point with the defense. Look, if you put the wonderful Ruben Bain out, stretch him into a 9 technique that opens up so much space inside where he could do it, line up half a man and then just open up half a body and make a swim move here and there. But again, when you mentioned the one-on-one matchups, you put him out wide, guess what that does? That opens up more room for Tavondre Sweat and Jeffrey Simmons to have more one-on-one options. And again, Jeffrey Simmons last year was a force to be reckoned with, and teams were double teaming him. And now when you have this situation, if you can somehow get some interior pressure, I don't think you'll be getting many double teams on Jeffrey Simmons.
Yeah,
because they'll be more worried about the left tackle or right tackle, wherever they line up Bain, and they'll have to double team him or just kind of shadow block. Kind of when I was playing, they call it a shadow block where you kind of chip and go. But
it gives you more opportunities to set a linebacker in as well.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, a 4-3, if you're not familiar, it's quite literally what it is. It's 4 in front, 3 in the middle, and then your secondary. But I think obviously with a 4-3, you're going to have some double teams. That's just the nature of the game. But it's more than a 3-4, which the Titans have traditionally been running. And as we've seen, they've had some issues getting to the quarterback as of late, aside from Jeffrey Simmons. So I like the idea of having someone else that's capable of hitting the quarterback and fitting a new defensive scheme. And quite honestly, I think that's Ruben Bain.
Yeah, and let's not forget about the 2nd-round pick last year, Femi Oladejo. I think this
you have been preaching Femi propaganda as of late.
I think it resets the clock on him. Obviously he had the injuries. I get all that, but people need to realize that's a young player who's going to be developing under a Robert Saleh. And look, nonetheless, that he is an inexperienced edge rusher when it comes to stuff like this. But with Robert Saleh's system, and I mentioned this before in that 2019 team with Nick Bosa, they got a premier edge rusher for that team. Now he's inheriting an edge rusher that's young. Hopefully he can continue to develop him. But when it comes to that and you pair him with a Ruben Bain on the other side, and if you go and grab a couple free agent edge rushers that are, decent, that can, go in at 3rd downs, whatever it may be, that's what you need. You can now build a young core from the inside out. And that's kind of what you want to go for in the NFL.
Yeah, I would agree. A pivotal piece is Femi Oladejo. I'm curious to see what he looks like under a defensive coach. And no discredit to Denard Wilson. I thought he did a good job with the defense. But you're right. It kind of resets the clock on him. We're capable of seeing how he develops under a defensive-minded staff. You have been talking a lot about him recently, and I always tend to forget about Femi Oladejo, so I appreciate you bringing that up. I'm just worried that he's not the kind of player you should have drafted in the 2nd round. We knew he was going to be a project coming into this, but he only played, 7 games last year? 5 games around that area?
Yeah.
And he's been hurt, so we don't really know what he is. It's very early in his career, so he's got a lot of time to prove us wrong. But
let's remember this too, Connor. A 4-3 defense is going to be more one-on-one opportunities.
Right.
Femi, again, converted from a linebacker to edge rusher. He has that size and physique to be quick on the outside of the offensive line to get past that tackle, whatever it may be, or make a stunt move inside the guard, or on the outside shoulder of the guard. So again, that's something that you got to remember is Femi's a quick edge rusher that has the intangibles to be good. So just putting that out there.
615-737-1025 is the phone number if you have thoughts on who the Titans should take at number 4 overall. I don't want to get too much into the draft talk, but it is something worth mentioning. You have a new defensive staff. Wouldn't it make sense to take a defensive player at a premium position that you need in the NFL at number 4 overall? And I argue that's Ruben Bain. Coming up next, let's open that file cabinet. The Frazier Files with Nick Frazier coming up next right here on the Weekend Huddle on 102.5 The Game. It's now time to crack open the file cabinet once again. Here on the Weekend Huddle, Connor Newton, Nick Frazier, Christian Skelton here with you. But this segment is all about Dr. Crane himself. Take it away, my friend.
Thank you very much, Connor. I know today we're all enamored with the white snow outside. And
I mean, I can't stop staring out the window. So.
Exactly. But, hey, there's something else you'll be staring at later on, and that's the TV screen for UFC 324. It's the first, air quotes, pay-per-view event for UFC this year in mixed martial arts. A phenomenal card. Have a co-main event. Paddy Pimblett going up against Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje, a 37-year-old, just absolute brawler, striker in some aspects. And you got Paddy Pimblett, who is just one of those guys as a young fighter, can put you in a submission hold, can knock you out in any second of the fight. And this is just one of those where you're just going to be watching it nonstop. Somebody who's been on these airwaves before, Derek Lewis, was on with Big Joe and I back in July. What an interview that was.
That was a trip.
If you want to go get a little gauge of what Derek Lewis is like, go back on our podcast platforms and listen to that. But he takes on tonight in the, I believe, the earlier part of the main event card. So in their prelims, there is I call it the red-blooded American matchup. There's a Navy SEAL. A Marine, excuse me. A Marine that is in the Marine Reserves. His name is, it's escaping me right now, so I'm getting real excited to talk about this. Denzel Freeman and Josh Hokett. And so Josh Hokett was a former NFL football player, was undrafted, then ended up playing for the 49ers from 2020 to 2022, went away from it, was an All-American wrestler in college, came back to MMA, and just was fighting continuously, building his credibility, and he's going up against Denzel Freeman. And he was with the, you'll get a kick out of this, he was with the WWE development program. He didn't really like the whole, I guess, acting part of all of it.
The whole fake part?
No, not the fake part. Just like, you had to really build a character for yourself. He just wanted to get into the octagon.
He just wants to punch people.
Yeah, essentially.
Fair enough.
So. Yeah, who doesn't, right?
Yeah,
So this is going to be a fun one. It's a heavyweight matchup. Both guys have 7 wins under their belt. Josh Hokett, on the other hand, is undefeated, 7-0-0. Denzel Freeman, 7-1-0. So that's a prelim matchup everybody's excited to see. Just going through the rest of the card here, some other ones that I'm extremely, excited to watch for is Umar Nurmagomedov. He's one of those Dagestani, fighters, 19-1. That's another guy that can put you away with submissions.
Dagestani?
Yeah.
Is that the
Dagestan?
The Russian place?
Yeah. They all have beards but no mustache. Yeah, exactly. So it's a fun sport. I love the aspect. I think it's one of the more pure sports out there. I mean, again, it doesn't include a football or anything like that, but I just love those obscure sports people don't really pay attention to, bring light to. Like
a lot of people pay attention to the UFC.
Yeah, now they do. And again, I'm one of those guys that loved, WWE as a kid and kind of grew away from it a little bit, but still followed it. Because you guys keep me in tune with it, which is great.
Yes.
But UFC kind of it fills me up when I'm hungry for something like this. So
fills you up, Buttercup.
Exactly. Great song, by the way.
Don't break my heart.
Yeah. And then the women's flyweight division, you have Rose Namajunas, which is one of those more veteran fighters, kind of the journey women of that division, going up against Natalia Silva, who, again, is probably one of the more exciting female MMA fighters of the year right now.
Diva.
Oh, yeah, she probably would be. Brazilian fighter, 19-5-1. So she doesn't do that many submission takedowns at all. She's more of the, goes the full distance, probably 3 rounds, and those will be 5 minutes each. So this is another matchup everybody will love to see. And I mentioned Derek Lewis. He's going up against the Dominican Republic fighter of Waldo Cortez Acosta, another guy who fought a lot in 2025, had a lot of knockouts. I think he had 4 fights in 2025, and then Derek Lewis only had 1 or 2. But again, Derek Lewis, on the other hand, he's changed his diet a little bit.
Oh, that's good.
I know.
I wonder if he's celebrating National Burger Day.
He might be. I mean, look, I think when Joe and I were on with him, we were asking him about his diet. He goes, yeah, I had to cut out the burgers. My trainer was like, I can't have 3-4 burgers a week anymore. And this guy's running like 5-6 miles a day. Like the fact that you're a heavyweight fighter running 5-6 miles a day,
you're not gonna be heavyweight too long.
I know, right? But he looks thin, he looks trim, he looks just healthy, and he's a brawler. This is a heavyweight matchup where you're gonna just be exchanging blow for blow. And the fact that he's 29-12, he has the most UFC career knockouts with 16. That's why a lot of people enjoy watching him fight, is because he just gets rid of his opponents in the first round, second round, whatever. I was at the fight in July when he was the main event, and he got rid of Teixeira in 35 seconds. So that,
Worth the price of admission?
100%. Because
Given you probably didn't pay anything.
yeah, the whole card itself just had knockout submissions. I'm hoping the UFC comes back to Bridgestone this upcoming year, hopefully in July, get a nice fight night or something, because this is their first MMA event of the year, but it's on Paramount because they're no longer with ESPN Plus. So ESPN Plus, they're starting to do that ESPN Unlimited now, and so CBS took it over Paramount, which is great.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because the WWE, they're under the same TKO umbrella.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that I guess WWE is taking their spot on the ESPN Plus.
I guess so. And also, too, the PBR Professional Bull Riding that, I've kind of
there too.
covered as well. It's with TKO Group. They're with Paramount Plus as well. So I'm wondering somewhere down the line if WWE ends up going to Paramount. I know they signed, a 5-6 year deal with ESPN?
Yeah, and like you'd think at some point they'd all be on the same streaming platform.
Right.
But like that's the weird thing with WWE right now. Like Raw's on Netflix on Mondays, but then like tonight, Saturday night's main event's on Peacock. So it's like, and then next week the Royal Rumble will be on ESPN, like the ESPN Unlimited plan or whatever. So
it'd be too easy for them all to be in the same place.
You're exactly right.
But again, I think that's a testament to WWE because it's the worldwide entertainment, and that's exactly what it is.
That's a great point.
You know what I mean? So like Peacock, what else? Netflix, they still do Fox, not anymore now.
No,
Okay.
USA Network.
USA Network, thank you. So like you still have your 6-7 different networks you go to when it comes to
Some
WWE.
13-year-old is just dying laughing at you right now.
Yeah. Why is that? Did I do something?
6-7. Yeah.
Oh,
You said 6 or 7. Yeah,
sorry.
It's our fault.
As well as our friend.
You also
probably
you also kind of did the hand motions like unintentionally as you said it. That was pretty funny.
Italian hands, I can't.
What are you doing?
Bada boom.
6-7.
Yeah, exactly. 6-7, 8-9, whatever that is. No, but just the fact that UFC is back and we're on with a phenomenal card. Sean O'Malley, Sugar Sean O'Malley.
I do know Sean O'Malley.
Yeah, wears the green and blue hair or pink hair, and he braids it for the main event. He's a co-main event tonight, going up against Song Young Dong.
I've never understood the co-main event. Isn't it just the last match is the main event?
Yeah, I mean
that's CM Punk's argument.
Yeah, I get it. I understand.
Well, pal, you were the main event.
I think
you fought the Undertaker.
There was 3 main events.
I think it comes down to just the purse prize when it comes to co-main events. I think they all get paid the same when it comes to co-main events. So, but that'll be an interesting matchup too because Sean O'Malley, his stance, he kind of switches things up a little bit, and he can knock you out, and he can also put you in a submission hold. But to me, looking at Song Young Dong, he can kind of just.
Where's he from?
He's from, I believe, China. Yeah, he's from China. So this is a guy that doesn't have the same reach as O'Malley because O'Malley's kind of lanky in the arms.
Yeah.
But again, his quickness and shiftiness, he's like 3 or 4 years younger than him. That may have a little bit of a factor. O'Malley just kind of, I don't know, he gives this persona, and I think he's been humbled a little bit because he's lost a couple fights here and there. But the fact that he's not the same fighter everybody thought he was, but he still builds it up. He's a pretty good promoter like Conor McGregor. So that's something to watch out for. I think the fight everybody's looking forward to when it comes to UFC is the White House card coming up.
Oh, yeah.
July.
I can't wait for the White House card.
Yeah.
I'll watch that. I'm not a huge UFC guy, but I'll watch that.
I was listening to a podcast the other day. Apparently Dana White said that he wants no scaffolding, no projectors in any of the camera scenes when they're at the White House lawn.
Make it as natural as possible.
Exactly. He said they're going to have about like 5,000 to 8,000 people there. And
literally just have the octagon, and that's it.
That's what they're trying to do. And the 2 camera angles, one's going to be the White House in the background, and the other one's going to be pointed towards the Washington Monument on the opposite side.
That's so awesome.
So it's like a north-south.
Is it going to be on like literally 4th of July?
I think so.
Awesome.
They need to just set up barricades and no bleachers.
Yeah.
Make it look like a street fight.
Oh, that would be.
It looks so good.
Honestly, that would bring it back to the.
At that point, why do you need an octagon?
Yeah.
Well, it's tradition.
It is, Brian. There you go. I thought that'd be funny there. So
it was funny.
Was it?
Yeah, I laughed just on the inside.
Thank you. Yes.
I laughed too. I just turned my mic off to laugh because nobody needs to hear me laughing.
I'm just kind of monitoring the traffic situation we got going out here.
Yeah.
Cars are moving very, very slowly.
Yeah, I mean that's what
as they should.
Yeah.
Be safe.
Just don't be stupid. Don't try to drive.
Except for that cop
like
who just
70.
cruised by like 50 miles an hour down the road.
He's got places to
Woo!
be in his defense.
Oh,
Probably.
yeah.
So you guys have any questions about UFC at all? Are you excited for it? I mean, you guys got Royal Rumble tonight, right?
No, we got
Next
Saturday
week.
night's main event.
Yeah,
Next
Royal
week.
Rumble's next week. What
Ah.
number UFC is this? You probably said, and I just didn't.
324.
Wow. They're
Yeah.
at the 324 now.
You know the last UFC I watched?
Hmm.
UFC 200.
Oh,
Is
You
that
know
the
why?
one Brock was
It
in?
was the one Brock
yeah,
was in.
I thought so.
who's he going up against? Do you remember? No.
I couldn't tell you.
I can't remember.
I'm about to look it up real quick. UFC 200, Brock Lesnar.
It was
He was big too. I think he got
Oh,
in
yeah.
trouble for steroids, if I'm not mistaken.
I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Brock or the other guy.
Brock.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. July 2016 defeated Mark Hunt. So yeah.
Oh yeah, he won too. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he did one.
And then it was later overturned no contest due to Lesnar failing a drug test. So yeah, that makes sense. Because I remember
Checks out.
he got banned from UFC, and then not even like a week or two later signed a deal with WWE, and then everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, Brock Lesnar's back! This is crazy."
I wonder why.
Yeah.
Do him and Dana hate each other?
I don't know. I think so, just because of the way things ended. That's just the assumption, but he still thinks John Jones is the greatest fighter on planet Earth. So.
John Jones. And John Jones is a quitter. He tapped out when I got too hard.
And
Like John Cena,
yeah,
unfortunately.
never give up.
I didn't
mentality.
understand. I mean, he was like the champion. And
John
then-
Jones?
Yeah.
Well,
And then retired at the top of
he did the
Mountain.
Tom Brady move. He retired as the double champ, and I get it. And again, I think he put himself back in the MMA pool to try to be eligible for the White House card. But Dana White said, "No, we're not doing that."
You're good.
Yeah.
Who's the champion now?
I believe it's Alex Pereira.
Ah.
Yeah, I have to double check
Well,
on that. But
who did they relinquish it to when John Jones retired?
yeah, it was vacated.
Vacated?
Yeah.
Vacant.
So then Alex Pereira ended up winning it. And you know what? I would love to see Derek Lewis get a title shot because that's, again, I talked about him earlier. He's always counted out, always an underdog, but yet always performs. And
How does one get a title shot in UFC?
funny enough, I mean, look, it's the account of wins. Some of these UFC fighters pick and choose when they want to fight on a card or if they are eligible for it. Like, for example, Derek Lewis is up there in his, early, late 30s, kind of mid 30s. He's only fighting once or twice a year. And
making millions doing it?
Exactly. And if that's making the UFC money, that can make the money. I think there was might have been one promo way back in the day after a fight. It was Chael Sonnen. Chael Sonnen, that's what it was. He ended up saying something to a fighter that was in contention for the belt, and it won him a shot at the title. So that's Dana White saying, you know what? Yeah, you deserve a title shot.
That sounds like wrestling to me. I don't know.
I mean, it is. It essentially is
The number one contender.
The entertainment aspect's probably the same. Difference is it's not choreographed and predetermined. It's just go out there and fight, see who wins.
It's real to me, damn it.
This is true. It is.
615-737-1025. Are you excited for UFC 3 whatever?
24, baby.
24.
324.
324.
What comes after 24? 25. Yeah. I'm on the jokes today, boys.
David
and girls.
Jays is probably just laughing his rear end off.
You're welcome, David.
615-737-1025. We'll get into hour number 2 coming up next right here on the Weekend Huddle on 102.5 The Game. Hour number 2 of the Weekend Huddle here on 102.5 The Game. Connor Newt, Nick Frazier, Christian Skeleton here with you on Snowmageddon, and it is increasingly becoming Snowmageddon. It's still not really sticking as much to the grass as I would have thought, but we're getting there. Plows are coming down the roads.
Plows are plowing.
They're plowing. They're doing their jobs, which gives me increasing hope that I'll be able to leave here after the Predators game, but we'll see. What do you want to talk about here? Because I don't really have anything planned.
Well, I mean, I could go on and on about the UFC,
know you
but
could.
I don't want to bore anybody with that. Is there anything going on with wrestling today? Not at all. No, yes.
Saturday night's main event
Uh-huh.
is coming up today.
It's in a mid card at best. So
Really?
It's not great.
Is it?
We get to watch Trick Willie though.
Is it kind of like a comparison to UFC Fight Night?
Sort of. Is Fight Night like the equivalent of a Monday Night Raw?
It's like NXT, if that makes sense.
Okay.
It's like the stomping grounds, proving grounds for up and coming MMA fighters. I mean, they have the Dana White Contender Series. I consider that more NXT comparable. And then if whoever wins the Contender Series gets an automatic contract to fight in the UFC, and if they win that fight in the UFC, then their career might just skyrocket into a different atmosphere. But if they lose, I mean, they're back to square one. They probably don't even get retained with the contract. So
This is a dumb question.
no.
Do they have relegation
Yeah.
in UFC?
Essentially, yeah. I mean, if Dana White doesn't say, "Hey, you're not getting another contract," they just don't sign you back, and then they could go to like Bellator or LFA or Cage Warriors, which is a bunch of different other MMA leagues. So
Cage Warriors.
Bellator is kind of like
Cool.
the B to the UFC. So it's like UFC is A, then you have Bellator at B, then like LFA at 3.
So it's like the Premier League and then
the EP,
the
EFL,
EFL.
EFL
Yeah,
1,
yeah.
EFL 2, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily relegation. It's just more of they don't, incorporate them when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're all separate entities. It's just these fighters are independent. Kind of like boxing. You gotta pay your camps. Like when you win the purse, you're not winning all that $200K. You're winning, I'd say roughly like 70 of it, maybe 60 of it.
Yeah.
Because the rest of it goes to your camp and everybody else that's helped involved with you.
Yeah.
Promoters and so forth.
Today's kind of a loaded slate in sports, but it's all in the early window because everyone's moved up because of the weather.
This is kind of odd. The fact that we're on the radio and Kentucky basketball, of all things, is on the television.
Oh, I know. That's why I'm semi-distracted between the basketball of my team and the impending doom going on outside as a blizzard.
How should Kentucky match up against Ole Miss here?
They should
be
win.
Even?
They should win. But Kentucky's missing 3 starters, which is not great.
Yeah.
Ole Miss is kind of resurging, but I think home will play a factor in that. They're playing in Rupp. They need a win. They've won 4 in a row, but they need a win heading into Nashville on Tuesday to take on Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt needs a win today, too. They play Mississippi State, which you can hear over on 94.9 The Fan, pregame beginning at 10:30.
Which is a little under 30 minutes away.
Which is, about
24
25 minutes away, 24 minutes away. So, I want to talk about something in college basketball a little bit later.
Mhm.
You know what? I may just do that right now.
Oh.
So there is a thing going on right now over Alabama basketball. They have decided to bring in a G Leaguer to play college basketball. This was a guy that played on their team about 3 years ago, since got drafted, went to 3 different G League teams, and is now back at Alabama just because of a simple restraining order. To which I ask, his name's Charles Bediako. He's playing today against Tennessee. He will probably only get 1 to 2 games under his belt before the NCAA rules him ineligible, because the judge that ruled him eligible was an Alabama donor, which is bad. But to which I ask you, why can't the NCAA just use some logic? Why can't they just say, hey, you were in an NBA draft, you were drafted by a professional league, you shouldn't be validated to play college basketball, because that's quite literally taking a step back. I mean, the G League is a league higher than college basketball. Maybe not as prestigious, but in terms of technicality, the G League is the step above the NCAA.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going backwards because he couldn't make it in the big leagues. It's kind of like, what's the best way to put this? It would be like if, Will Levis decided, I can't make it in the NFL, I'm just going to go back down and play college football again because I have enough eligibility.
But
left over.
Connor, he technically didn't play an NBA game, so that makes it so much different.
It doesn't. It
That's
really
ridiculous.
doesn't. It doesn't.
It doesn't
It's
at all.
such a dumb argument. He didn't play an NBA game. Yeah, neither did I. Does that make me eligible?
And again, I think it's more of the NCAA has lost its leverage.
They
in
have
all
no
this
backbone.
stuff. Exactly.
Zero backbone. I mean, they're caving to corporate sponsorships as we're learning. Did you see this news that came out yesterday?
Mm-mm.
They're going to allow jersey patches across all college sports,
I did see this.
which is, I mean, it could work for basketball and maybe baseball. Football is where I think it'll be really weird.
So explain to me the jersey patches. Is that more for like trading cards where they cut them off and put them into trading cards, or what's the jersey patch for?
No, I think based on what I'm understanding, it's kind of like what you see in the MLB and the NBA where they literally have
Debut patches.
no, like you'll have like a Kroger patch on your
Oh,
Reds mentioned.
jersey. Yeah,
I
Reds
follow
mentioned.
you. Yeah,
So
yeah.
you know how the Cardinals have
Purity
yes,
or Purina. Excuse me.
Purina. Yeah.
Purina dog food. Yeah.
That's how the Predators, they have Regions Bank. So I think it's going to be similar to that. I think you'll see like Arkansas wearing Tyson or Walmart or something like that.
They're already food sponsors
Yeah,
for their
they-
field. Yeah.
Yeah, they do have food sponsors. Yeah, they literally have the Tyson logo right on their field. I mean, you could see Kentucky wearing Kroger, which I would venture to say that's probably going to be what's going to happen. You know, who's the weirdest jersey sponsorship? The Orlando Magic. Do you know who there is?
Is it Disney?
It is Disney.
That is a little odd. It's pretty Looney Tune if you ask me, and that's not Disney.
It looks
either.
weird.
My guess is like the teams that already have on-field sponsors. I would think they'd just be the same sponsor, like on the
Probably.
jerseys, but maybe not. Maybe they'll want to
Like the
switch it up.
Vols
I don't
would
know. Well,
have-
It's probably just gonna be Pilot. Yeah.
Yeah, the Vols would have Pilot. Does Mississippi State have an on-field sponsor?
I don't believe so. I know C Spire is their like headphones for the head coaches. They use C Spire for that.
They
but
may use
Maybe
that.
it'll be that then.
maybe. And
Maybe they can get that local Publix to sponsor them.
yeah,
The only thing worth visiting in Starkville.
Oh no, there's a lot more in Starkville.
I was about to say, well, those are fighting words
Yeah.
in front of who you're talking
Yeah.
to.
Look, you can go to the Hump, you watch some phenomenal basketball. Go to the Duty Noble, the baseball
Just
facility.
naming all the stadiums.
I mean, I could. I
The
mean, yeah.
dude.
and
the dude.
the one place to go eat
Hey,
is
the Dude might be the best baseball stadium in the country for college baseball.
It is. It's the
Probably
Mecca.
is.
It's
Yeah.
the Mecca, baby. Let's not forget about the left field lounge. It's turned into the right field lounge. Bring your own grill. You go feed some of the,
I'd love
the
to go to a
baseball
game
players. That's one cool thing about the Dude is when you go watch a baseball game, the right field lounge actually feeds the right fielders on the other team, which is kind of funny. Like when you're going up against Ole Miss, they even still feed the rival team. And I think it was one time they were feeding like sloppy joes or something, and the dude was not having a good game. I just think that's so clever. You're not really doing any food poison per se. It's more of just strategically, feeding the guy what's not going to make his stomach feel great. So, but I will say before you mentioned something, Connor, you guys brought up a phenomenal topic when it comes to patches on jerseys, because again, this is Greg Sankey and the Big Ten's commissioner as well saying, look, we're establishing a foundation of revenue before we break away. Because the whole 12-team format of the playoff, they're staying with that next season. When they want to branch away from the NCAA, guess what they're going to already have? A foundation of sponsors that are going to furnish their breakaway league, if that's the case. So you
Right.
guys make a great point there.
Yeah, I think it was trending in this direction. I told you a couple months ago, I think we're trending in towards the multi-year contract thing in college sports, and turns out we were already there. This whole Darian Mensah situation, and you had it with the Damon Williams or whatever his name is for
at Washington.
Yeah,
And now he's back. isn't he?
he's back because he didn't want to cave to
Awkward.
the lawsuit. Real quick, let's go to our phone lines driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Again, 615-737-1025. And welcome in our good friend, Dr. Locke. Dr. Locke, go ahead.
What's up, fellas? Who'd you piss off, man? You guys, who drew the short straw to be on Snowmageddon in there, man? It's crazy. I thought only us car guys were dumb enough to open up today. I think we're we're cheap labor. We're 100% commission. So our owner thinks we're gonna sell a bunch of cars today.
Oh, yeah.
What you got for us,
No,
Dr. Locke?
well, I was calling in, and then you guys brought up a good point. I wouldn't mind talking. I hear your point on the kid making a little G League money, but honestly, me, you, everybody there, we make more than G Leaguers. I mean, if you look at the salary of a G League, what are they making? 50 grand, 70 grand? They're doing it so they get a call up, right? They're doing it in hopes that they can, hook onto an NBA team, but the little bit of money he made in a G League, he'd make more NIL if he's a top player. I mean, Flag last year probably made $1 million, $2 million NIL money versus G League guys. So, I mean, if the guy made what, 60, 70, 80 grand playing in the G League, I mean, is that a big deal? I mean, he would have made more playing on an NIL money. So if you look at it that way, it's just, I'm just playing the devil's advocate. On the other side, what's the big deal?
Yeah. Thanks, Dr. Locke. I appreciate the call.
Hey, be safe. Get out of there before the ice hits.
Yeah, we'll do our best.
I'm on the road right now, and all you're able to do is get up to about 30, 35, and it's deteriorating pretty good.
Where are you at exactly, Dr. Locke, on the road?
I'm crossing B and A. My dealership's out in Mount Juliet, and there's nobody out here. I mean, I already passed 3 wrecks.
Great.
And we don't even have ice. Once the ice hits, you're not driving on this.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I appreciate the call, Dr. Locke, and you stay safe as well.
Yeah. All right, fellas.
All right. But yeah, he raises a good point to play devil's advocate. But I think for me, it's the precedent. This is a guy that played at this university 3 years ago and declared for the draft and couldn't make it, and now is back. I understand the money side of it, but at the same time, it's the precedent. You're opening the floodgates for even worse things to come.
And I look at it from a actual competitive standpoint. You're getting, I wouldn't say professional minutes, but you're getting that exposure at the next level. It's a little bit above college basketball. I mean, you could say it's the land of misfit toys for college basketball players that didn't make it to the NBA, but yet it's still, I don't know, European basketball is kind of up there. It depends on what league you're in, but I don't know, the G League, it's the in-between of college and pro, and you're still getting a little bit of a upper leverage of skill.
It would be like a baseball player playing college baseball, getting drafted, going to AAA, and then realizing they're not going to get called up to the majors, so they come back down. Yeah, that's the equivalent to me. And I mean, you can get into the money side of this thing. They don't make a lot, but it's the precedent. It's you have gone down a level because you couldn't succeed. And you're opening the floodgates for more of this. I mean, can LeBron James come back to college? He's got 4 years of eligibility.
That'd be awful.
He never played college basketball. My team's wide open. 615-737-1025 is the phone number. Coming up next, let's get into a little bit of Preds hockey.
Oh, yeah.
They're in action today against the Utah Mammoth, coming off of a massive win against the Ottawa Senators. They were down 3-0. A Steven Stamkos hat trick lifts them over. They win 5-3. So I'll ask you, can the Preds be consistent enough to shore themselves up a spot in the upcoming playoffs? We'll get to that on the other side. Connor Newton, Nick Frazier, Christian Skelton here with you on this snowy Saturday morning here on 102.5 The Game. Why this one?
Just because I felt like it. I don't know. I have no answer for you.
It's Chris Sanders singing to us.
Great song.
It is a good
And this-
song. Do you know what movie this is from?
Oh,
Neither of you know?
It's a Batman movie, isn't
It
it?
is Batman. It
Is
is
it really?
Batman Forever.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and it has nothing to do with the movie whatsoever.
Huh. Interesting.
Welcome back to the Weekend Huddle here on 102.5 The Game. We're taking you up till 11:30 to get you set for Preds hockey. So let's talk a little bit of Preds hockey. Coming off of a big win against the Ottawa Senators, a team that they're in competition for that wild card spot. Or are they in the Eastern Conference? Am I dumb?
I'm sorry. I missed.
Is
what you
Ottawa
said.
in the
They're in the West.
They're in the
You're-
West. Okay.
Or
So-
wait, Ottawa's in the East. Utah's in the West. I was thinking about today. I'm sorry. You were correct.
Damn it.
Dang it.
Anyways, they are in the midst of a playoff battle. And look, we got a long way to go. We got to get to the Olympic break first. We got to get to the trade deadline, blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
But regardless, a win is a win. And they got a big one the other day. They won 5-3, once down 3-0. Steven Stamkos with a hat trick. And he played phenomenally. He's playing phenomenally.
Yeah.
In general. But I ask you this because I want to know, do you think the Preds can be consistent enough to sure themselves up a playoff spot? Because they're kind of doing this thing where they win one and then they drop one and then they win another one and then maybe they'll get a little bit of a streak going, like win 2 or 3 in a row and then they'll drop one. So I'm wondering if they can get consistent enough to where they start stringing some wins together, because that's what's going to help them get into the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that away trip they were just on previously a couple weeks ago, and they won, I think it was 5 out of 7, which is kind of what you needed. And again, that put them back on track to be in some form of a wild card contention. I still think this is a playoff team. I think they can make a push at a cup run this year. Again, I'm being pretty optimistic when I say that. Some people may disagree, but again, you have a core that's not getting any younger, and yet they're capitalizing on all their opportunities. Like you just mentioned with Stamkos, his 16th career hat trick this past week. That just goes to show you the guy still has a lot left in the tank. This Preds team reminds me a little bit of the Pittsburgh Penguins. You look at that core with, Genny Malkin, Sidney Crosby, and they just keep supplementing younger players around them to continue to, I think Braden Russ is on that team still. I mean, that's a team.
Brian Russ.
Yeah. You look at that team and they just continue to keep building around them. That's kind of what the Preds are doing right now with a lot of those players. And again, I can say it, Johnny January comes back from the IR.
He's coming.
Gets himself a goal, led the team with, I think, 5 shots the other night. So again, not saying he was a key factor in that win, but yet he's getting back on the right track, hopefully.
We've got about 7 more days of Johnny January, so
That's all that matters.
hopefully.
He's a late bloomer, but you know what? He capitalized on the first day back.
Yeah, well, February may not be a problem for him because there's a total of like 8 games that month.
Yeah.
We can have Marchy March. That's coming.
Marchy March and the boys.
March.
Yes.
DJ Marchy March.
That's right. Connor Newt.
Coin that.
Yep. Right there. Clip
Coin
it.
that. That's mine. That's mine.
Kim.
If anyone uses it, yeah, Kim,
Kim, clip
please
it.
clip that.
There you go.
Please and thank you. Marchy March is coming. Look, I think as we approach the deadline here, I'm not sure there's a lot that they need to solidify themselves with.
Right.
They've kind of got the pieces that, competitors search for. You've got veterans that are delivering. You've got young guys who are showing their promise. You've got some role players and some glue guys like Justin Barron and Eric Holla, guys like that. As far as who they can buy, I'm not sure they're in a position to do that. I'm kind of thinking this is a group that's playing well enough together that I'm not sure they need to buy. So I'm not saying they're complete and total cup contenders, but
Right.
at the same time, you kind of have everything you want right now moving forward. So if you can get consistent enough and sure yourself up a spot in the wild card, hopefully that wild card 1 spot, because if you're playing wild card 2, you're probably going to get matched up with Colorado. I think that this is a team that's capable of winning some playoff games and maybe even playoff series.
Yeah, the one issue I have with the Preds right now, and just watched them when I was at the Ottawa game, the first couple of periods, was just the defeat. The defense.
Words
was-
are hard.
they
My
are
words are
hard.
hard today too.
A little chilly, I guess that's
It's
why.
cold.
I don't know. The defense was a little scarce for me when it came to those 3 goals. And Nick Hague and even Brady Shea when he was in the mix a little bit. I think it was the second goal, and it went past Nick Hague. He could have got in front of it, and I was like, "What's going on here? This team just doesn't look as enthusiastic as they normally are." But that's just something that needs to be fixed on the back end. I think the offensive play is there. This Preds team, again, I think once Marchessault gets his feet under him a little bit, they stop relying on a Stamkos. They stop relying on a Ryan O'Reilly. And you can start incorporating the Philip Forsbergs. Reed Schaefer went down to Milwaukee, which is a good thing. They're getting him more minutes because the Olympic break's coming up. But you look at some of those guys, and you hope you can start implementing them more, and they get more opportunities on net. Like you mentioned, Eric Holla. Eric Holla has been a phenomenal piece to this team this
He
year.
did a great signing.
He was on the third line the other night and did a really good job.
That was a signing I was really skeptical about
Mhm.
because I was like, what could this guy possibly provide that they don't already have?
Like you already had him. You just had him.
Yeah, you just had him and it didn't work out. You let him go and now he's back. What's he going to provide? And to his credit, he stepped it up. He's a great puck facilitator. He can get to the goal if he needs to. I think he's not ever going to be your best player, but I think he's a key piece in this roster, and he's been a great glue guy this season. So I think that's probably a key for the Preds is getting the most out of your guys. There are some you're getting the most out of right now. Steven Stamkos just had a hat trick the other day. Roman Josi is playing Roman Josi hockey again. Philip Forsberg is always going to be Philip Scoresberg to me. UC Saros, I think, is the one to me that from a goaltending perspective, I think he needs to start getting a little bit more consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he gave up 3 goals in the first period the other day against Ottawa. The defense and Saros as well played a lot better for the second 2/3 of the game. So it's a matter of stringing together good performances. Let's not forget the week or the game before against Buffalo, Saros was pulled for on it. So I like UC Saros. I think giving him that contract was probably the right decision based on the high level of play he's capable of getting to.
Right.
It's just a matter for him of getting there as consistently as possible. And it's the UC Saros experience. Sometimes he'll have a shutout, and then the next game he'll give up 5 goals. So
yeah, yesterday, not Elliot Freeman, but Greg Wyshynski was on with Big Joe and I even asked him about UC Saros, and when it comes to the Olympics coming up, like, could that be a concern for the Nashville Predators? Could UC Saros be seeing too many minutes when it comes to going up against, some of the best of the best in the Olympics? Because again, you're taking on probably 200-300 shots in the whole entire, I guess, tournament and roundaway for competing for the gold medal. And we all know, and we've seen it with the 4 nations, all these guys give their heart and soul for the U.S. to be the Stars and Stripes. But I mean, for UC Saros being the netminder of his country, I think that carries a lot of weight. And you wonder if that's a good thing or a bad thing going forward, because when you're done with the Olympics, does that help him going into the second half of the season?
615-737-1025 is the phone number. Our phone and text lines driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. We'll continue the conversation on the Preds. What needs to happen before we hit the Olympic break, which, quite frankly, I'm excited to start talking about Olympic hockey, meaningful Olympic hockey with NHL players. I can't wait for that. But we got a couple of weeks to get through before we get there. So what do the Preds need to do before the Olympic break hits to carry some momentum over until afterwards? 615-737-1025 is the phone number. We'll do that coming up next right here on the Weekend Huddle. Connor Newton, Nick Frazier, Christian Skelton here with you on 1025 The Game. Oh, TD and Chris Sanders would be so proud of you right now. As am I.
I appreciate Frazier's dancing. It makes me feel really good about myself
It's every song.
every time.
It's every song. It's good stuff. Who sings this? Is this Prince?
Oh, yeah.
This is.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyways, welcome back to the Weekend Huddle here on 102.5 The Game. Connor Newton, Nick Frazier, Kristen Skelton here with you, talking a little bit of Preds hockey, and the Olympic break is coming up in just a couple of weeks. It's about 2.5 weeks off from NHL hockey, as you have some Preds going overseas to Milan to play in the Olympic hockey games, which will be a really, really fun time. The others will be just taking a glorified all-star break, which is good for them as well. But we got a couple of weeks to get through before we get there. So I ask you, what needs to happen for the Predators before we get to that all-star break or Olympic break to carry some momentum into the rest of the season?
Well, you know where I kind of stand on this. If the Preds are in a wild card 1 spot, I even mentioned on this show and others, they should probably look at, again, people are maybe not in the camp of them adding. I think, they got a decent core, but if they can get at least a small addition to the roster and maybe offload something, then sure. I think that's something that might look into, because again, you wonder how long can you continue with this lineup week in and week out and the inconsistencies. If you can add a piece that can make your team more consistent as the season progresses, I think that's something to look into. And if you're Barry Trotz, we know he's not afraid to do any, additions or subtractions to this roster. I think right now he understands that this core is here to stay for the most part. But if you can offload or add one or two players, there's no harm in that.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of finding consistency.
Right.
It's a matter of stringing together good wins, and you're going to play some divisional opponents. You start with one today against the Utah Mammoth in an Ice Age game, which is appropriate for the weather today. But I think it's a matter of stringing together consistent wins, getting your players to play more consistently as players.
Yeah.
Getting players to play consistently as players is hilarious. Stamkos, I think, is starting to kick into high gear. Forsberg, I think, is the steady hand that this team rides on, as is Yossi. Saros, I mentioned, is the guy I'm worried about. Maybe not worried, but concerned that he can't get to a consistent level, because he'll do this thing where he has a shutout game or a 1-goal game and he has, 37 saves or so. And then the next game, he'll give up 5 goals in the first period and a half. So It's a matter of finding consistency. I think young guys need to find their place on this roster and step up, and I think they've done a really good job of that this season. Luke Evangelista in particular, but I really like the direction that Fedor Svechkov is trending as well. And quite honestly, he's one of my favorite players just because of how hilarious he is. But I think it's just a matter of finding your groove. And I want to hear Pizza Party as much as I possibly can, which I had to educate Jake Lyman on what that song is. Do you know Pizza Party?
No, I know what a pizza party is, but no,
okay, so Pizza Party is the Preds' win song. It is sung by one Mr. Factor, Ryan O'Reilly, and his children's band.
Pizza Party.
I'll have Christian play it for you.
Interesting. I didn't know this was a thing. I knew it was.
Actually, do that right now. Look up Pizza Party by Ryan O'Reilly. You'll find it.
The more
tell me when you have it.
The more you know about the fact.
It's fantastic. It's great content, but I want to hear that song as much as possible, because that means they're getting good wins.
Yeah, exactly. And looking at this roster right now, and especially in the standings, like, this game, the Utah Mammoths hold the wild card 1 spot with 56 points. The Preds currently are at 52 points. That's 4 points off the top spot. They're only, I think, in second is San Jose. And again, that's another team that I mentioned a few weeks back and saying that they're going to be inconsistent like the Preds, but yet they still have the point production to keep them in that wild card 2 spot. At some point, it's got to fall off. I don't know if it's going to be Askarov or Nedeljkovic in goal that's going to really hurt them, but the fact that they're just going to have to figure things out. And I think that's what they're doing right now. They're able to figure things out. And we go back to the one word that we've been harping on this segment and last segment, and it's consistency.
Yep.
So
it's a matter of finding your footing in this league, and it's a difficult league to find your footing in. But if you can, that establishes you as a playoff contender.
I believe I have it.
Do we have it? All right, let's hear Pizza Party.
We play
Pizza Party.
Pizza Party.
That is Ryan O'Reilly.
It's a pizza party. Pizza party.
Were you unaware of this?
I was unaware.
This was revealed on Smashville Live, and we have since discovered the song. Does this hit home for you?
A little bit.
Because you're making your pizzas? You should start playing this at your next event.
I might just reach out to the factory and say, hey, you want a pizza?
Yeah.
And,
Would you like to be sponsored by Nico's?
I can help you out with that, Factor, any day of the week.
You should get a live performance from the Factor himself at your pizza party. Maybe in the summer when he's not busy.
This is great ideas.
You're welcome, America. You're welcome, Nashville. I'm glad I was able to provide you with that.
It's a red-blooded American right there.
True-blooded Americans. Call in if you want to talk about sports. Only sports.
There you go.
No commies.
Nothing else.
No commies, as he said that one time. I wonder if he listens.
Absolutely.
Does he?
Absolutely.
The Plaz?
Yep, absolutely.
We should have him on this program one day.
Let's do that.
That'd be tremendous.
Maybe next
content.
weekend.
Well, I was thinking a little further in advance, but let's call him right now.
One phone call away.
Live on air.
He's probably sledding today, actually.
Oh, yeah.
George, yeah.
Him and Parker. They're on a tandem sled.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's a
Come
show.
here, Parker.
It's
Come
a
sit in
show
my
thing.
lap.
It's a show thing, man. It's a show thing. Like, we could go sledding together. I mean, you just got to find the right hill. You know what? I would like to know that from our listeners. Where is the best place to sled?
How about that one right there? Right in the middle of the freeway.
Right there, yeah. No, I think the Preds are going to go sledding here in a little bit in the right direction, and that's
Hopefully the ice is tilted downward because that means they're playing well.
exactly.
Look
All
at
the
that.
goals will fall into the net.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir. 615-737-1025 is the phone number if you have thoughts. How could the Preds sure themselves up a playoff spot and get a little bit of consistency as we head towards the Olympic break here shortly? Coming up next, I got to figure something out, but Newt's Notes on the other side.
Oh, you
Since
got
we
something.
have a elongated show. We'll do that coming up next right here on the Weekend Huddle on 102.5 The Game.
Weekend Huddle here on 102.5 The Game. A little bit of a change of pace here for Newt's Notes. You know this movie's 20 years old?
Really?
Cars is 20 years old.
It's a staple in everybody's list of movies.
I mean, this
right?
is the top 3 movie of all time for me.
Garnett,
Nick Frazier,
Nick Frazier, Christian Skelton.
here with you on the program.
Keeping you aware, weather aware as well.
We
while
got to
we're
talk.
here.
Yes, we are. It is currently snowing, participating. Sleet is expected to hit around 1 p.m.
Mhm.
Make sure you're driving safe out there in Nashville.
Around 6 p.m., freezing rain. So just if you're out there, be weather aware. Drive slow if you got to be out on the roads. If not, stay inside. Listen to the radio. We'll keep you updated with all the latest. But as of right now, just be weather aware.
Let's give you an update on the weather right now. It is currently 21 degrees. Feels like 7.
Yeah, it's very chilly out there.
We are expecting about 4 inches of snow today. Let's see, about tomorrow, we are expecting about 2.
Yep.
So we're going to get about 6 inches of snow, I think, here in the Nashville area.
A high of 23 tomorrow and a low of 5 degrees, single digits. So again,
You know-
your faucets dripping if you have them. So
You know what the low is Tuesday?
what is that?
0.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I'll pass on that one.
Yeah, we're good. I want to talk about the Bills situation going on right now. Basically, Keon Coleman is at fault for everything, Nick. And it's their owner basically came out and said, yeah, drafting him was a coaching decision. I had no input in it whatsoever. And then a video resurfaces from 2 years ago of the owner just we got to draft Keon Coleman. We got to have him. So the fact that they are blaming a player for the struggles of this franchise, not being able to get over the hump into the Super Bowl, much less win one, is just sad to me. They're searching for a scapegoat. Quite frankly, I don't think Sean McDermott should have been labeled the scapegoat. I think that's a mistake letting him go. They're going to find out really soon what we're feeling here in Nashville, and that's Mike Vrabel being released and going on and succeeding somewhere else. And look, McDermott may take a year off, and quite frankly, I think that might be best for him because I don't think there are any jobs available right now outside of the Pittsburgh Steelers that are really worth taking. I mean, if you look at the job market right now, it's the Steelers, the Browns, the Raiders, and the Bills. Those are really the only 4 open that are worth anything. And of the 2, you just got fired from one, and the other one, I think, is probably not going to go that direction. So I think the fact that they're searching for a scapegoat in this whole situation is pretty sad. It's not great. Keon Coleman, although he hasn't lived up to the expectations that he was given as a first-round draft pick, this is not on him. He's had his struggles. Wasn't he suspended for?
Yeah, look, I'm gonna have to disagree. I think it is on him. When you become a rookie in the NFL, you look for somebody as guidance that can help you mature as a player. I don't know if he found that in Buffalo because they continued to just try and recreate the wheel when it came to wide receivers. You now have Brandon Cooks, a part of that wide receiver core, a decent wide receiver, but then you add Khalil Shakir, Gabe Davis. All those guys are wide receiver 2s on a bunch of other teams. But, when you go to Buffalo, they all rotate as a wide receiver 1. But Keon Coleman, again, late to meetings, missed out on some practices, got suspended. I can't say it's not his fault. It definitely is his fault.
He's part of the problem.
Yeah.
But he's not the sole reason for the blame. Neither do I think the coach is. Let's not factor in that Josh Allen had 4 turnovers.
It's true.
In that AFC playoff game. Let's not factor in that half of your receiving core was out with injury. Half of your defense was out with injury. There were just things that, quite frankly, I can sum this up to: this franchise is cursed. It's not fun. But I think the fact that your owner, A, addressing the media on the situation, and B, just desperately searching for a scapegoat is, quite frankly, very sad to me.
Yeah, it really is. And I kind of go back to that Bills-Broncos game. Yes, Keon Coleman did have a touchdown in that game, but he dropped a touchdown as well. And I think on the ensuing play, he did score, but that's, again, just catch the first ball that comes to you. And that's something that Buffalo has done is they've used their tight ends a lot more. Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid. And again, if Josh Allen makes that throw to, I believe it's Dawson Knox around the 10-yard line, in the overtime, they win the football game. They don't have to worry about the Brandon Cooks interception catch, whatever that was. I mean, again, I'm with you. I don't think they should have used Sean McDermott as the scapegoat answer, which, again, Terry Pagula has said that he based it off of the result of that game against the Broncos. And I find it hard to believe. Again, that's something that you can't reiterate and say, oh, it's McDermott's fault because of the results of that game. They scored 30 points.
Right.
30 points against a really good defense.
Yeah.
The fact you go 8-8 in the playoffs and you have over a 50% winning percentage with the Buffalo Bills in your 9 seasons there, it can't be the coach. And again, somebody has to be at fault for it because you're not going to go fire Josh Allen. You're just not.
No.
You got to find somebody else to
The
supplement.
quarterback is the last person that you consider firing. But here's a stat for you.
Okay.
Since 2015, when Sean McDermott was hired, or I'm sorry, 2017, when Sean McDermott was hired as the head coach of the Buffalo Bills, the Bills were on a 17-year playoff drought. They are also the only team in the NFL to win 10-plus games for 7 straight years. So, I mean, you can scapegoat the coach all you want. The fact of the matter is he got results. And look, I don't think he's the greatest coach of all time. He's not, I don't know, Bill Belichick or someone like that.
Right.
But he's an effective coach. He got results, 10-win seasons for the last 7 years. So I think he should have gotten another opportunity instead of trying to find a scapegoat. And the coach is always going to get the blame unless it's a new coach. Like, let's put it in the Titans situation. If things go south this year, who's getting the blame?
Robert Saleh. If
Nope.
things go south with the Titans,
Mhm.
it'd be Robert Saleh.
But who's going to be the scapegoat and the first one fired?
Oh, it'll be either Chad Brinker or Borgonzi.
Bingo.
Yeah.
It'll be one of those two. It's always a cycle of the scapegoat. Okay, you just hired a coach. If things go wrong, you're going to fire the GM. We're going to find a new GM. If things go wrong there, then we fire the coach. He's not getting the most out of the quarterback. If things go wrong there, we bring in a new coach. Maybe this quarterback's not good. Let's get rid of him. It's a circle. And Josh Allen, I think, has established himself as the kind of guy you simply just cannot get rid of.
Yeah.
Because of the caliber of play he provides. He's an MVP. He's a rushing quarterback. He's got a strong arm. He makes the most out of his opportunities. So he is the last person that you're going to blame in this one. And I think that's being indicated to you by the fact that he's sitting in on these coaching interviews. But I do think the fact that we're trying to find a scapegoat and the owner is coming out and saying, well, it's Keon Coleman's fault. We knew we should have drafted him. And, Sean McDermott is apparently been the wrong hire all along to them, which is ridiculous to me that he's been there 9 years. And we're just now coming to that conclusion after having 10-win seasons for the last 9 years. But I don't understand the narrative that this owner is trying to push out. I really don't. And I get it's a business, but I think this is a dumb business philosophy.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, somebody had to be canned. It just unfortunate that it was McDermott. And you mentioned, the Titans and Saleh, if things kind of go south this year. To me, I don't want to get too nitty-gritty with the record thing, but if the Titans don't win more than 3 games, or if they go 3-14 again, or if they go 4-16, or it's not 4-16, 4-12, excuse me, 4-12 or 5-11, that's to me not good enough. If they go 6-10 or 7-9, that's where they need to be this year.
You need to see improvement
Yeah.
on all levels. Record, defensive intensity. You need to see the quarterback take a step. You need to see the offensive production take a massive step. A lot of that is hinging on what they do in free agency and the draft. And
Right.
we're not going to know for a little while on paper what this team looks like. And we're really not going to know what they look like on the field. But, we'll see. 615-737-1025. Let's go to our phone lines driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Adam in Portland is on our phone line waiting very patiently. Adam, go ahead.
Dude, are y'all at the studio on Murfreesboro Road?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
How the hell are y'all going to get down that hill?
We'll be all right.
Dude, that's bad. I used to work at Dell right there, so I'd always see people sliding off. So good luck.
Thank you.
Hey, quick question on what you guys are talking about here. So McDermott, aren't you just like the least bit curious of what he'll look like without Josh Allen? Like
A little bit.
Yeah, like I don't know, man. I think he's a good coach, and I think defensively he's going to be fine wherever he goes. But like, it's the same feeling I had with everybody who was on a team with Derrick Henry. I'm like, I've got to see what you look like. Now, Vrabel proved it, but like, let me see what anybody looks like without Derrick Henry. And it's the same thing with Buffalo, man. Like, I think Josh Allen's always going to be a little bit competitive, like, or always kind of in it. But I don't know if McDermott's a good coach or not. I don't think anybody knows if he's a good coach. So that's where I'm at with it, dude. Like, I think it would have been an interesting hire. I think it would have been an interesting hire if the Titans could have found a way to get him. But I would also have been really nervous about it. With Saleh, it's kind of more of the same. We know what Saleh is defensively, but I don't know, man. I'm just curious to see who we get around Cam. Is there any update on the Dayball thing? Have I missed that, or is it still wait and see?
No, we're still in wait and see mode. I think, the longer this goes on, the more likely I think he is the offensive coordinator. But yeah, we're still in wait and see mode.
Just puzzle it together, Adam, because McDaniel withdrew his name and Dable was already interviewed. I don't know if they have anybody else lined up for that Buffalo job to be interviewed, but if Dable's name is still in the hat, that's what concerns me. Is if the Titans do the wait and see game with Dable and they miss out on their opportunity to find somebody else to supplement that. That's what is concerning to me. And you can't play the wait and see game when you have a guy in Robert Saleh that's going to be a first-year coach for the Titans, second term going around. Because a lot of those guys that are head coaches for the second time, their back's against the wall and they have to produce.
Well, also not for – by the way, you two on this show, man, I'm loving this show. My thing and I'll leave you alone after this. I'm also, like, super excited that he brought Bones Fossil back. Like, that means he's at least smart enough to understand that some things worked here. Most of it didn't, but like I was gonna be bummed out if we lost Bones Fossil. So yeah, he's giving me a little bit of hope heading into free agency, man. I can get through the rest of these playoffs, and then that's when the loser teams win. Is when you get past the Super Bowl, you're like, all right, it's our time to shine at the top of the draft, and we got a little bit of money in free agency. So I think it'll be fun, man. Y'all stay safe out there. Be careful.
We appreciate it, Adam. Thanks for the call. Yeah, I think it is an interesting point. What does Sean McDermott look like without Josh Allen? That we do not know.
And again, if Josh Allen continues to go on a downward spiral, I'm not saying he's regressing as a quarterback, but then that just validates it was not McDermott's fault. And let's remember, he still has Joe Brady as his offensive coordinator.
That's who I think will be the Bills' next head coach.
Really, just gonna
I think they just do the inside hire. That's what I think the Browns do too with Jim Schwartz. Texter on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. 9828 says McDermott to the Raiders with Mendoza as his quarterback. Success.
Wouldn't be opposed to that.
I wouldn't be opposed to that. The thing is, the Raiders is the job that has come out and you've heard just absolutely nothing about. Like, I don't know who the front runner is. Apparently, Mike McDaniel's still in consideration for that one, but he's withdrawn from the Browns and the Bills jobs. So maybe he just really wants to be in Vegas, which would not surprise me knowing his personality.
I was reading something the other day, possibly Clint Kubiak putting his name in the hat for the Raiders job.
I think the Raiders are waiting for these four teams left so they can get someone in the building.
Yeah.
Like Clint Kubiak or Jesse Minter was the Rams guy, but or the Chargers guy. Maybe the Broncos offensive coordinator, whose name is escaping me, but he's like 30. So
talking about Vance Joseph, DC?
No. Offensive coordinator.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed that.
His name's escaping me. But
I'll get it for you.
Regardless, I think they're waiting for one of these playoff contender coaches to get into the building.
Joe Lombardi.
Yeah. Yes, that's exactly what I was talking about. I think that's what's going to happen.
Interesting.
Because that's what they want. I think they're desperate enough to do that.
I mean, never know. What about Nathan Shieldhouse that we were talking about earlier?
Nathan Shieldhouse. There you go.
He works for the Rams right now
or maybe Chris Shula. Yeah,
possibly.
That I think they're waiting for a playoff coach currently playing for a conference championship.
And again, Tom Brady, he's fielding his opportunities right now. I mean, look, he went to the national title game with the whole entire Raiders brass, and they were on the sideline watching Mendoza throw. I mean, it just definitely shows you he's going to be number one. And again, if you bring in a guy like McDermott, I think that's a good fit for him with the Raiders because defensive-minded guy can help restructure that defense, and they already have the young offensive core pillars, Ginty, Mendoza, if it is him, Bowers, and maybe Jack Beck.
And Tyree Wilson, who has done absolutely nothing.
Dante Thornton.
There you go. 615-737-1025 is the phone number. Bonus 30 minutes for us here on the program as we get you set for Preds hockey
in an Ice Age matchup, which is appropriate for the weather today. And we'll give you a weather update on the other side as well. They take on the Utah Mammoth with pregame beginning at 11:30. We're taking you up until then. Coming up next, we'll talk about conference championships. The Patriots and the Broncos, and of course the Seahawks and the Rams, which I think is going to be the game of the weekend. We'll do that coming up next for hour number 2.5 here on 102.5 The Game. Hour number 2.5, I guess you could call it, here on the Weekend Huddle on 102.5 The Game. Connor Newt, Nick Frazier, Christian Skelton here with you. I just stepped outside because I have the mind of a 60-year-old at this point, just to watch the snow. It's coming down out there, folks.
That's the last 2 breaks I went outside. I was like, guys, this is phenomenal.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
But also, it is nice. I mean, just be safe out there. We're supposed to get this all day. It's coming down. We're supposed to get like 4 inches today, according to local weather services, and then another 2 tomorrow. So we're probably expecting about 6 inches of snow. Sleet is going to be changing here at about
Around
1.
6-ish.
Well,
freezing rain comes down.
Freezing rain comes down at 1, I think. So make sure you're safe. I would advise being in a safe spot, not driving in this sleet and ice, because that's very, very dangerous.
Yeah.
I know for a fact I'm going to try and get home before that gets here. Of course, I got to do the Preds game, but I'm going to try and do that. But yes, please just make sure we're being safe. Have fun in the snow. We don't get this very often. Stay warm, and we'll continue to update you on the weather as we continue along here. To start off hour number 2.5, I guess you could call it. Let's talk a little bit of conference championships. It's a big weekend in football. Over out west, we got a game at Mile High Stadium, which I will continue to call that, even though it's called Empower Field. the Broncos and the Patriots. And then, of course, in Seattle, the Rams and the Seahawks. It should be a fun weekend of conference championship football.
Right before we get to that, our text line kind of blowing up about the Bills and Josh Allen and McDermott with the Raiders.
Yeah.
Well, one of the texts right now, 9777, says, is it just me or do the Bills kind of making Josh Allen the villain on this team because of the whole McDermott firing?
I think they're doing anything but.
Oh.
I think they are defending him until the very end, and they're making McDermott the villain.
Interesting.
He's holding him back. That's what they're pushing out.
Well, I think kind of what the texter's trying to get to is like, because of the moves they're making the national perception of Josh Allen a villain to everybody else, if that makes sense. Because everybody knows it wasn't McDermott's fault. So I get to what the texter's saying there. As for the other texter, talking about the Raiders, 9828 says, McDermott to the Raiders with Mendoza as his quarterback, success.
Yeah, we talked about that last segment.
Yeah.
I think that would make somewhat sense, but as I mentioned, I think the Raiders are waiting for a playoff contending coach currently to get in the building. Chris Shula, maybe. Joe Lombardi, is that his name?
Maybe Nathan Shieldhouse. That might be
Nathan
another name as well.
Yeah, well, he's free because he was Green Bay's.
No,
Oh,
Shieldhouse is with the Rams as their passing coordinator.
Oh,
Yeah. You're thinking of Adam Stinovich,
yes,
the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's so many names.
Yeah, there are a lot of names out there. Arthur Smith's still out there. Let's
Yeah.
remember that one as
Arthur
well.
Smith, future Raiders head coach. I don't think he's going to get many head coaching considerations.
I think OC is going to be the lateral job for him.
Probably.
But you were expanding on the AFC, NFC. I'm sorry.
Probably. I fully expect this to be a rematch in the Super Bowl between the Patriots and the Seahawks. I think we're going to get a repeat of that. I think Mike Vrabel, look, I think the Broncos can hang with the Patriots simply because of the defense that they have, but I just can't bet on a team with Jarrett Stidham as their quarterback. Drake May is playing like an MVP. You and I have talked about this before. Mike Vrabel makes the most of chaotic wide receiver scenarios, and Stephon Diggs, I think, fits that mold.
Yep.
So I expect you're going to see best on best here. You're going to see New England's offense versus Denver's defense. Their two best areas. I think that's the intrigue in this matchup, but when you got to make Jarrett Stidham make mistakes, and I think he's highly, highly likely to do that. So I would expect Mike Vrabel to head to a Super Bowl, and quite honestly, maybe this will piss off a few Titans fans. I'm rooting for it because I don't want to watch Jarrett Stidham play in the biggest game of the year.
Yeah, look, for me, seeing Mike Vrabel take this New England Patriots team to the AFC Championship game and potentially taking them to a Super Bowl and winning it all, if he does win it all, sure, it may be upsetting to some Titans fans. I'm with you, Connor. I'm in the camp of if Mike Vrabel wins the Super Bowl, this is a good thing for Patriots fans. But also, I think it gives closure in some aspects to Titans fans because now they officially know they had their quarterback, their head coach of the future, and they let him slip between their fingers, which I get, and that is a little sour it's a sour note. But to me, that brings closure to a chapter to know that the Titans did make the wrong decision, and that's okay because they have learned to bounce back, hopefully, and just keep moving on. And that's all you can do in life. So again, brings a little closure and rooting for the Patriots. I think they're a good, well-organized football team. I've mentioned before multiple times this week, Vrabel has taken advantage of all these, last place schedules in some aspects, and he's done it really well with the Patriots this year.
Yeah, I think, granted, the schedule has been a little bit easy, and look at the quarterbacks they've had to face in the playoff. CJ Stroud, who is regressing and just does not look good. And then in the first game, I'm blanking on who they played. Who did the freaking Patriots play in?
Let's see. Drawing a blank already.
Am I dumb?
No, I believe it was the the Chargers. Excuse me, Chargers. Yeah.
Justin Herbert, who didn't
My
have an
goodness.
offensive line. He was
Yeah,
missing his
I
two
forgot
starting
about that.
tackles.
Yeah.
Of course. So I don't think they've had to go through a quarterback gauntlet like some of these other teams have. Now you get to play Jarrett Stidham, which completely adds to my narrative. On the other side, I am wondering if Sam Darnold can beat the allegations of can't win the big game.
Seeing ghosts.
Yeah. And there's another thing. I'm wondering if the oblique injury that he's been dealing with and that we've heard a lot about
is going to factor in because
Huge, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. But I think this is two pretty evenly matched teams aside from the quarterback position. I would take Matthew Stafford 10 times out of 10 over Sam Darnold, which some podcaster out there would probably disagree with me. But, he's been pushing that narrative for a while. I think that the defenses are comparable. I would give the slight edge to Seattle. I think the offenses are comparable. I would give the slight edge to Los Angeles. So I think this is going to be a hell of a game. This is going to come down to the wire. Ultimately, I think defense wins this one, and I think the Seahawks come out on top.
I'm opposite. I think the Rams come out on top.
You and Jake both have told me that.
Yeah, the Rams, I think, have a complete backfield. They have a complete wide receiver core. I'd say somewhat of a complete offensive line. Looking at this Seattle team, and I think this is a big component, is the running back room. And you know how I am with the running back position. It's probably one of the more important positions that I would value in that offense.
Seattle's has dwindled.
Not having Zach Charbonnet for the rest of the year because of a torn ACL is huge. There are a lot of, I'd say, behind the sticks runs that Seattle puts on the running backs, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 6, and they give it to Charbonnet. And he always tends to find the first down marker and then maybe a few yards after that. They don't have that anymore. And I don't think they can continue to get the running production out of Kenneth Walker and having 4 touchdowns like he did last game. I don't think that's possible. I mean, that's just, you're going to have a career game in the playoffs. That's what makes you a staple in the NFL. But I don't know if you can replicate that. And again, to the point about Sam Darnold's oblique injury, hasn't taken any throws this week from what I've read. So again, he did that last week, the week game before. So that against the 49ers. So that's something to look into as well. I just think they're just resting it, going to shoot it up before the game. Takes an hour to just sit in, and he'll be good to go.
615-737-1025 is the phone number. Our phone and text lines driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Let's go to our phone lines. Will has been waiting on the line patiently. Will, go ahead.
Yeah. So.
Okay, I guess.
May have dropped there.
Will,
he did drop.
Will, you're welcome to call back in. Anyways, I think he was going to talk about Mike Vrabel and probably tell us how wrong we are for pulling for him, but
it's all right.
That's all right. That podcaster I've been talking about probably will too. Maybe in a lot higher, squeakier pitched voice. By the way, unrelated, I love celebrity birthdays. I think it's great. I care a lot about it a lot. So
thank you very much.
Good job by you and Joe. I think Will's calling back in, so we'll just call.
Yep, he's back.
All right.
Okay.
Will, are you back with us?
I am live and on the air, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So one of you just made mention, going back to the Vrabel comment, that the Titans had their head coach of the future. Am I the only one that clearly saw that he was not going to be a long-term head coach, whether he left on his own or whether he was fired? He had always been in cahoots with Kraft, and he was always going back to New England. So that he is gone and having success, man, I don't feel the same way because I never looked at him as a long-term coach for the Tennessee Titans. He took us as far as he could go, but through crappy drafts and letting talent go, he depleted the cupboard. We missed our window, but he was always going to New England. So what do you think about that?
Well, Will, here's the thing, man. Like, it's definitely imminent that the New England marriage definitely was going to happen at some point. I just think it happened sooner rather than later. When it comes to Mike Vrabel, I do think if he was given a little bit more roster power, obviously the whole Rand thing taking over, the whole J-Rob firing, that's what spiraled everything. If you just keep the one constant, and I think Amy just got caught in her ways, again, listening to the wrong people and going forward that direction, that's where everything kind of started to fracture. Again, if you just kind of stuck with the tracks, and again, maybe it would have led to something worse, but I'm in the camp that it would have kind of helped. I think everybody goes through trials and tribulations, and it's just, I mentioned earlier about Vrabel with the New England Patriots. He took advantage of a last place schedule, and look at what they're at now. He's a really good coach, well-sounded football coach that knows how to take advantage of I guess, poor opportunities. And when he took over the Titans, it was a poor opportunity turned into a success. And maybe you're right. Maybe there is a point to where he did take the Titans to the furthest he could go. But I still think there is a little bit more left on the table for that.
All right, point taken. I don't think he would have had anything more than maybe 2 more wins with the roster that he was about to inherit before he was let go. I don't know that he could have made a run towards the playoffs with the roster that he inherited when he was let go.
I'll have to agree to disagree, but the fact that you have a guy like Rand Carthon who just
Thank you for the call.
yeah,
Will.
appreciate the call, Will. The fact that you have a guy in Kevin Byard that you said, oh, he's too old, a cap casualty, and you move on from him. Look where he's at now. Was with the Chicago Bears this past season, led the NFL in interceptions. I just think there are a lot of good core pieces on that Titans team with Vrabel that, again, you made a great point too about they could have paid those players and kept them and whatever. Again, that's kind of on front office management as well. It's not solely on Vrabel.
I think a lot of this comes from. Sorry,
no, please continue.
I think a lot of this comes from the whole Vrabel Hall of Fame thing at Gillette Stadium. It's not like you're everywhere else, or it's not like this everywhere else. So I think that's where a lot of it comes from. Well, he was always going to go to the New England Patriots. Let's not play revisionist history. He took a year off and wanted that Chargers job. He wanted that Chargers job before it was given to Jim Harbaugh. So maybe you could make the argument that he wasn't going to be a Tennessee Titan head coach long term, but I think Amy's decision to fire him was more so on her than it was on his decision to leave.
Yeah, and you now see it now when he's in New England, all the vetoing of trades. If that was the alleged, reports out there that she didn't want any Titans players to go to New England, guess what? AJ Brown, that relationship has gone sour in Philadelphia.
Yeah, he's probably going to be in New England.
Exactly. I think that's eventually going to happen. And again, that's another way, it roundabouts away trade for Amy. And I think will probably make her a little sour. But, you look at this team under Vrabel, I thought they were pretty good. And I thought they had a little bit more left on the table. So again, to Will's call, appreciate the call. I'm just going to have to agree to disagree on some of these aspects.
I'll leave it on this before we get to where are they now on the next segment. Why can't we be happy for Mike Vrabel?
You're right. Yeah, why not?
Why do we have to have this bitterness that we don't want him to succeed? I understand that maybe he said some things about the Titans job and said some things about your ownership, but to my opinion, I don't think anything he said is wrong. I think he's calling it out. And maybe he is a little bit bitter, but it's over. It's done. He's broken up with you. He's moved on. He's moved on to better things. You're the ex now. So why can't you just be happy for him?
And just rebound.
Yeah.
Rebound.
You've got your rebound.
Yeah.
You've got your next Mike Vrabel, at least on paper.
Yeah.
You've got that fiery defensive coordinator. So why can't you just be happy for your ex? He's obviously getting married now. Maybe he has a kid named the Lombardi Trophy. Why can't you be happy for him?
2 kids.
3 men and a baby.
There you go.
Anyways, 615-737-1025 is the phone number. Final segment here on hour number 2.5 here on the program. We'll do our favorite game. Where are they now? Coming up next. Connor Newton, Nick Frazier, Christian Skelton here with you on 1025 The Game. it just makes me so happy every single time I hear this song.
Never gets old.
It's tremendous. Tremendous content. Welcome back in Weekend Huddle here. I almost called it Weekend Company. We'll just combine the two.
There is company in the room.
Yes, and it is the weekend. So it is a loaded house in here today.
It is.
We got a studio audience.
Foo Fighters coming up next.
No, they were last.
Boo! Y'all stink.
Good
Sorry.
Lord.
Well, that scared me. Sorry.
Good Lord. I mean,
Nashville Predators are next.
I
Sorry.
don't come on your show and do that. I mean,
He stole my mic. I'm sorry.
yeah. Well, I don't come on his show and do that.
That's
so
okay.
supportive. It's just not a thing.
Nashville Predators are next.
Yes, they are.
But
But first, everyone's favorite game, aside from celebrity birthdays, who everyone totally cares about. Where are they now? The new revised version, which you all love. We will just go around the room, name career paths, and a snow day version. So without further ado, let's go ahead.
Okay.
Nick Frazier, why don't you go first?
Okay, perfect. We're going to go to hockey.
Because I got to time this stuff out.
Yeah, go ahead. We're going to go to hockey because the Preds are coming up here in a little bit. Drafted by the Nashville Predators. And then playing for the Montreal Canadiens and Chicago Blackhawks.
Drafted by the Preds, you said?
Then the Montreal Canadiens.
Shea Weber.
Bingo. Yes.
If I'd have paid attention more, that probably would have been easy. But
That's okay. You're working back there. It's okay.
I'm working too.
Go ahead, Christian. What do you
Christian,
got
go
next?
let me pull it up here.
Yes.
Okay, so first up, we've got this guy who played for the Miami Dolphins, the
Okay.
Cleveland Browns, and the New Orleans Saints.
Miami Dolphins.
Did Cruz just say Tom Brady?
For some reason, yes, he did.
Cleveland Browns. So Miami Dolphins, Cleveland Browns, and what was the third team?
New Orleans Saints.
New Orleans Saints. Oh, Jarvis Landry.
You are correct.
Yeah.
How about that?
I would have
Mr.
gotten-
Frazier.
I would have gotten that, but I'm kind of multitasking
You're okay.
here.
I can go again if you
I
like.
think all of
No.
us are multitasking, to be fair.
No, I can do it. Hold on. I'll get one. Give me just a second. Give me just a second. Okay. Drafted by the Los Angeles Lakers,
Mm-hmm.
Brooklyn Nets, back to the Lakers, back to the Nets, Timberwolves, Dallas Mavericks.
Shall we say it at the same time?
You just go ahead.
D'Angelo Russell.
It is D'Lo Russell.
They said D'Angelo Russell too, so some people in the room knew it.
Man, I'm on it today. Okay. All right. Next on my list here, baseball player. Let's go here. Chicago Cubs, Washington Nationals, Boston Red Sox, the Philadelphia Phillies.
Repeat that. I'm sorry.
Chicago Cubs,
Okay.
Washington Nationals,
Mm-hmm.
Boston Red Sox,
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia Phillies.
I think I have a guess.
Yeah, go for it.
Unfortunately, I wish the last team you were going to say there is Cincinnati Reds because that's Kyle Schwarber.
You're right. He's
Yeah,
right.
What a pipe
I
dream
forgot
that
he was a Red Sox.
Yeah. It was traded in the same year he was with the Nationals.
Ah,
Yeah. It was a quick little trip there.
that's right.
Okay. So we're doing pretty good. Not too shabby.
How long is this YouTube video? Will you please put that on the screen?
Oh, yes. Hold on.
What you got here, Christian? What do you got for the next player here?
Let me see here. So we've got a New York Giant, a Cleveland Brown, an LA Ram.
Odell Beckham.
Yeah, okay. I didn't have to say it right.
That was
Or-
fast.
Forget the Ravens and Dolphins, I guess. Yeah, okay. Well,
Interesting.
good job.
All right. Connor, what you
Hold on.
got? I can go again if you'd
Please
like.
stand by. No, I can get it.
We're a little bit of a four-corner stall here.
Yes, we are. We're all working and trying to be here on the show as well. Okay. Tennessee Titans, Philadelphia Eagles, back to the Titans.
Back to the Titans. Not Tyrone Calico. So Titans, Eagles, Titans. Oh,
AJ Brown.
Javon Curse.
Javon Curse.
Yeah, there we go.
No, AJ did not come back to the Titans.
Hey, Matt, you never. I'm just kidding.
He will
I'm
not.
on one
I
today.
honestly did not know Javon Curse ever played for the Eagles. Maybe that's just me being young,
yeah.
but I had no idea that
It was,
ever happened.
it was when everyone got blown up. It was the same year.
Okay.
Was that 2005?
Three.
2003?
Three.
Yeah. Did he end in 2005 with the Eagles?
No, he played with the Eagles from 04 to 07 and then came back to the Titans for one more
08.
year from 08 to 09.
That's right. All right. Next on the list here is, let's see, Seattle Seahawk, 49er, and then a Buccaneer.
I almost said Richard Sherman, but he was never a Buccaneer, I don't think.
Yes, he was.
Unless he was, and I forgot.
Yes, he was. It's Richard Sherman.
It is
Ah,
Richard
wow.
Sherman. Look at you guys.
I talked myself out of it. How
You
about that?
almost did. Yeah, there you go. All right, Christian.
We got a baseball player now.
Oh,
The Oakland A's, New York Yankees, Cincinnati Reds,
Sonny Gray.
Minnesota. Well, okay, never mind.
wow. That was
I don't like it when you cut me off. Just kidding. Yeah, I would have cut him off too.
I don't love it when you go over. That's pretty
We're
good.
live, pal.
We're live, pal. All right. Let's see here.
Hold on. I'm like trying to look them up as I'm working.
You're good.
I'm sorry, everyone. I'm
You're
sorry
working.
You're working. Wow. I apologize to the random noises I'm making. All right. Detroit Pistons, Milwaukee Bucks, Washington Wizards.
Detroit Pistons, Milwaukee Bucks.
I think the only Detroit Piston I can name is Cade Cunningham.
Yeah,
The only one ever in history.
I'm with you on that.
Ever?
Is it
Not
good?
Well, Isaiah Thomas.
Well, Cade Cunningham is currently on the Pistons.
So it's backwards there, Christian.
Oh yeah. Well, that wasn't an official guess. That was just me saying I don't. That's probably the only two Pistons I can name. So that was me taking myself out of the running.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Wow.
I don't know about this one either.
It is Chris Middleton.
Oh, I forgot about Chris.
I did not know he started with the Pistons.
Did he play for the Raptors at one point? No.
New.
Think somebody else. I guess.
I think you're thinking of gosh, what was that guy's name? Siakam? Is that you're thinking
Pascal Siakam,
Yep.
maybe.
Similar kind of players in my opinion.
All right. If we move quickly, we can get another round in.
All right, you guys ready for this one?
Yep.
I'll make it quick for you. Italian, and let's see. Going to the NBA, a New York Knick, a Denver Nugget, Los Angeles Clippers, Oklahoma City Thunder, Atlanta Hawks, Washington Wizard, Detroit Piston, Milwaukee Bucks, and he's now playing overseas.
Wow.
He was in a monumental trade by the New York Knicks.
Who's he drafted by?
The New York Knicks.
Okay.
Veteran player now, for sure. 08 draft, if that helps.
08 draft.
First round, 6th overall pick. Small forward, power forward. Jersey numbers were 8, 12, and now 88.
88.
Yeah, it's a European thing.
It's not Carmelo Anthony.
Was involved with the trade, though.
But say it's definitely not Melo.
No, Melo played for the Nugs.
Let's remember this guy's Italian. Was involved with the trade for Carmelo Anthony.
Frank Ntilikina.
No. Oh, come on, guys. You got this.
Why am I not knowing this?
Come on.
I give up.
Yeah. Well,
Anyways.
Danilo Gallinari.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I think that's enough for today.
Indeed.
All right. Well, it was a fun show.
Indeed.
Snowmageddon is approaching. Please, please, please don't prove I'm right.
If you're going to the
And
Preds
be
game,
safe out there.
drive safe.
If you're going to the Preds game and you need something to listen to, Preds pregame show with Max Hurst is coming up next. But for Nick Frazier, for Christian Skelton, my name is Connor Newt saying so long. We'll see you Monday. Filling in for Next Man Up as Jake Lyman is stranded in the Himalayas. But for all of them, we say so long. This has been the Weekend Huddle on 102.5 The Game. Preds pregame show with Max Hurst coming up next. See ya.
Yesterday's too long ago.